Whither is thy beloved gone? O thou fairest among women, whither is thy beloved turned aside, that we might seek him with thee? My beloved is gone down to his garden, to the beds of spices, to feed in the gardens, to gather lilies. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. He feedeth among the lilies. Thou art beautiful, O my love, as Tisra, comely as Jerusalem, terrible as an army of banners. Turn away thine eyes from me, for they are overcome me. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Gilead. Thy teeth are as a flock of sheep that go up from the washing, whereof every one that beareth twins, there is not one bearing among them. As a piece of pomegranate are thy temples within thy locks. There are 80 queens and 80 concubines, and virgins without number. My dove, my undefiled, is but one. She is the only one of her mother. She is the choice of her that bare her. The daughters saw her and blessed her, yea, the queens and concubines. They praised her. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? I went down into the garden of nuts to see the fruits of the valley, to see whether the vine flourished and the pomegranates budded. Oh, ever I was aware, my soul made me like chariots of Amminadib. Return, O Shulamite, return, return, that we may look upon thee. What will ye see in the Shulamite? As it were the company of 2 armies. Song of Solomon, chapter 6. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me in my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. Jubilees, chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're walking with Mr. Clay. I'm Mr. Clay. Yes, and we thank God also for those of you that have been with us since the beginning, and those of you that come about here and poke your head in here and there's about. And we thank God for those of you who are about to subscribe, especially those of you who are thinking about it, calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes, we're in the book of Job. Yes, the book of Job. This would be chapter 22. Chapter 22 of the book of Job. Yes, Job answered Zophar, and he made known that because you're prospering, because you have good health, even though you eat the wrong things, that you're going to get by with God. You question God on how that, why should I serve you? Why should I even obey those things that I enjoy? I enjoy sleeping with other men's wives, is what he's saying. The wicked enjoy lying. They enjoy extortion. They enjoy theft. Prospering in those things, whatever level of theft that is. It can be extortion, monies, it could be robbing houses or stealing cars or whatever you want to call it. It can be manipulating in a government office, the people stealing their money in so many ambiguous ways. Yes, theft is theft, regardless. You cannot make it and funnel it to a certain degree of people. A petty thief is what he is, a petty thief. He steals really nothing. But one who takes billions and trillions of dollars and manipulates people and get them out of in countries and their, should I say, their kingdom and their, should I say, they land in their countries who have elected them to trust them. You're a liar and a thief. You've done 2 things. This is the thing God is talking about. Those of you who mock at your parents and you say they're no good and all of this, You steal. It's sin, and you glory in it. Some of you glory because you beat the poor, you cast the neighbor down, and you brag about it because it makes you look good. Does it? But anyway, all of it comes under the Ten Commandments, regardless of how people would say it. Maybe you in clergy and you begin to fondle little boys and little girls and lay with them and do what you want and then get by with it because you're clergy. Or maybe law enforcement, or maybe an official, a judge. But you get by with it because you're untouchable. Everybody reverence you because of your education, and they created the beast, so to speak. Yes, people, you create the beast. Whatever you solicit, whatever you patronize, you create that beast. You take something as simple as one who sings a song, and yet you love the song and thousands and millions with you. This person begins to get money, and that money raises him up. And you look at them, not only they know how to sing, but they're rich, so I want part of that too, so I'm going to try to get in there, or I can use their reputation to get clout over here or over there. Oh, it's so many things that you can do. But yet it's sin before the Most High. All of it hits on the commandments. I don't care about the different books or historical books or whatever. They're good. I believe them all. Because there's somewhere in the historical books where you go from the book of Enoch and Jasher from all the way down, that it's a truth in there. Even in the book of Moses, the 5 books of Moses, there are lies, there are manipulations, there are insertions, the prophecies, insertion. You know, one thing you can tell about a prophecy, it don't come to pass. And it just is so absurd, it's just crazy. Like, I can take the 70 weeks of Daniel. You get to the last week, God is not that way, according to as God describes God's self. God is not that way. When God says something, God does it straight through. When he says 70 years, it's 70 years. There's no gap in those 70 years. But yet you're yet to discover that because God hasn't showed you yet. No, you don't understand it yet. But either way, we're in the book of Job. The book of Job, chapter 22. Yes, 22. Thank the Most High for his mercy and provision. Yes. And also we look at you. I was listening on YouTube about these books, and some YouTubers and other social medias, they have things to say about the book of Enoch, Jasher, and Jubilees. But I have to say this. What if the account they give you, even though you say these factions say that they're true, because how do you know what the original Greek and Hebrew says? Or the Hebrew. We ain't worried about the Greek. We looking at the Hebrew. How do you know these things are true? That they say, how do you know they haven't inserted or caused things to be misquoted in order to manipulate it to the point where they want you to see a certain way? You don't know these things. This is why I look at them, and if they're close, they're close. That's it. Because we do not have the original Hebrew. We don't have the original documents. They've been hidden, they've been distorted, they've been hidden down in basements, they've been burned, they've been thrown away. All we have is what we have. And if it contradicts each other, so what? The basic thing is the laws, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High. It's good to know these things about Jasher, Enoch, and all these other people and all this. It's okay. It gives you a vague, should I say, sighting of what is. Yes, some of it might not be true. But the fact is, the statutes, commandments, ordinances, and laws of the Most High, they didn't sing about no history or who or Enoch or this and that. They sung about righteousness. They sung about beauty of holiness. These are the things that count before the Most High. Everything else is but collateral knowledge, or whatever you want to call it. But you have to realize the reason many of us can't fathom all these things is because of Deuteronomy chapter 28. God will cause his people to forget him. He draws whom he will. But then the key thing that those he draw, the main thing that they look at is the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances. When they read the law coming out of Persia, they cried and wept because they knew that they have sinned. Some of you haven't been circumcised. Some of you haven't been doing the Sabbath the way it's supposed to be done. Some of you, I can argue with you all day, but until you're persuaded that those things are so, you would always believe the heathen, no matter how much sense it makes. But the fact is, and then some of you have your positions that you have. You have your esteem among men. You seek honor among men and not from God. These things hinder you. Yes, you have your eloquent speech and all these other things, but no, that's not God. The most stuttering, the most silly person you can see, as long as he or she is obeying the commandments, statutes, and ordinances of the Most High, yes, is holy, is clean. Moses stuttered, but he obeyed God. Elijah ran into a hillside somewhere, but he obeyed God. Naaman, an eloquent man who was held in esteem among people, told to bathe in the muddy waters. But that was against his demeanor, his stature. But he obeyed God. Oh my, you don't hear me. You don't even get it. Job chapter 22. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, can a man be profitable unto God? As he is wise, may be profitable unto himself. He that is wise may be profitable unto himself. Getting it the way I'm saying it. Is it any pleasure to the Almighty that thou art righteous? Or is it gain to him that thou makest thy way perfect? Will he reprove thee for fear of thee? Or will he enter with thee into judgment? This is a good saying, just what we were talking about. Will God reprove thee for fear of you? Will he reprove you because he fears you? No. Will he enter with thee into judgment? Yes, he will. The judgment is the commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws of the Most High. Why is not thy wickedness great and thy iniquities infinite? Now he's trying to charge. He's saying you did something that God knows you did, man. But yet you say that you haven't done nothing. Why would God even judge you or enter into judgment with you if you haven't done nothing wrong, is what he's saying. For thou hast taken a pledge from thy brother for nothing. Oh, he's lying now. And stripped the naked of their clothing. Did Job do these things? Job was giving things. See, this guy Eliphaz is lying. Thou hast not given water. This is demonic. Right here is where the Satan, all Satans have names. I don't care how much you don't believe in the book of Enoch, Jasher, or Jubilees. It doesn't matter. You don't matter. But the word does. Here we go. Thou hast given water to every weary, to the weary to drink. Thou hast withholden bread from the hungry. But as for the mighty man, he had the earth, and the honorable man, he dwelt in it. He said, but thou hast sent widows away empty. Another lie he's telling. This is, Eliphaz is what? He's being swayed by the Satan's, to say these things to break Job down. He's breaking them down. Have you ever told people to tell you a lie, and then next thing you know, even lie to you, lie at you, and lie about you? Have you ever seen that before? People lying to you, lying at you, and lying about you. And you know it's a lie. This is what Eliphaz is doing. Bearing false witness. But he can't help it because he's easily swayed by the Satans in his heart to say the things that he said. Now, apparently Job is going to see this. Thou hast sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. Therefore snares are round about thee, and sudden fear troubleth thee. Or darkness that thou canst not see, and abundance of water cover thee? Is not God in the height of heaven? This is what they understood then. And behold the height of the stars, how high they are. And thou sayest, how doth God know? This is the way of the wicked. This is why you had slavery. This is why you have people taken, whether they're a slave in any capacity. Who sees me? Who can judge me? I will get away with this. There is no God in heaven. There is no Satan's beneath. This is what I want to do, and I will do it. You's a fool. But yet it seems somehow you find out your sins are found out. How does God know? Can he judge through the dark clouds? You have to realize, in darkness was the earth created. Whew. My God. God dwelleth in the darkness, but yet they will tell you that this is the realm of the Satans in darkness. God is in the darkness as well as the light. God sees just as well, because we don't know how God sees. Maybe he doesn't have a brain like God doesn't have a brain like a man. God is spirit. How can we even fathom who and what God is? But God is like the wind, as spirit means. Ruach, the wind, breath. I can wave a hand and it just passed me. I don't see where the wind goes with my hand. I know that it's supposed to go a certain way. But how far does it go? How powerful is it when it reaches a certain distance? Is it still felt by them 1,000 miles away? We don't know. But we can measure and say, no, it stops here. No, it doesn't. Thick clouds are covering him, and he seeth not, and he walketh in the circuit of heaven. God can't see us. Thou hast marked the old way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut down of time, whose foundation was overflown with the flood, which said unto God, depart from us. What can the Almighty do for them? Did not Israel and Jacob say this, or Jacob say the same thing? The children, depart from us. What can you do for us? Let us go and worship those things that we see and feel and have our feel of our five senses, that we may be happier today. Whose foundation was overthrown with a flood. I'm in verse 17. Which said unto God, depart from us. But the counsel of the wicked is far from me. He said, this is what you're saying, Job. Yes. Blessed is the man that standeth not in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scornful. The counsel of the wicked. No matter how much sense they make, they're wicked. Separate yourself. What does the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High say? What does it tell you? What What can you compare what you feel in your heart that is wrong? You go back to the law and you say, well, I was right. This was wrong. I will not do it, and I'm glad I didn't. This is what the laws are for you to regulate yourself, for you to control yourself. God does not control you. This is your weapon against the Satan's mindset that they have given people in this day and time. A wife to be rebellious against her husband, a husband to be evil toward his wife. All these things apply. Not only because you're a wife or a husband, that is your neighbor, that is your spouse, that is your friend. Yes, that's what that woman or the wives that you have, they are your friends, they're your neighbors. And the same thing as that husband. You have a covenant with each other, and it's held in validity, should I say, if I put that word right, with God. It's valid before God. In other words, God's going to judge you because of that covenant you made with those women or that woman. And same thing vice versa, woman. God never told women to marry women. He never told men to marry men. No. It's not even in you from birth. You changed somewhere where the Satans have swayed your heart and your mind. Depart from us. What can the Almighty do for them? Yet he filled their houses with good things, but the counsel of the wicked is far from me. 19. The righteous see it and are glad, and the innocent laugh them to scorn. Yes, they laugh at the wicked. Laugh at the wicked because his day is coming. Regardless of how he comes at you. Laugh. Whereas our substance is not cut down, but the remnant of them the fire consumeth. Acquaint now thyself with him. They're laughing at him. Watch this. God preserveth the righteous. Now, he says now, whereas our substance is not cut. 21. Acquaint now thyself with him, and be at peace. Therefore good shall come unto thee. Job is suffering. Nobody knows but the Satan that's speaking through Eliphaz what he is saying. He's trying to get Job to break. He's trying to get Job to give up. God is unfair. I've obeyed, I've done the things that I should do. Even, oh man and woman, your pride of your righteousness is sin. Pride will make you do things to make you look holy. You will put down other people that you might look righteous before others. Some of you will give monies and pull out your wallets and stuff in front of others. Look at how you do this. Is it from your heart, or do you want approval from others or a witness of others that you are righteous? Come on here. This is why Job cursed the day he was born. This is why Job began to look at the things and say, oh, even in my best I'm wicked. Because righteousness comes from the Most High. Period. I don't get into history that much. I like it, yes. The history of Jacob, yes. But this law is something that we have to really understand and master in our own daily lives. We have to master this thing. No, we can't keep everything in the law as far as sacrifices and feast days, because we're not in our land. We're not in the land. Even if it's not our land, we're not there. The Levites are filthy. They don't even know who they are because of Deuteronomy chapter 28. Period. I don't care how you slice it. It's still the same. Until God cleanse the sons of Levi and restore that which the cankerworm have eaten up. To you desiring not only your sustenance, but also your worship toward God. Your worship, not only to rejoice as David did before the Most High, to rejoice as all the Israelites did during the days of Israel when they were returned and rebuilt the whole temple. By the way, which is in Telluride. Yes, it is. But nevertheless, we're going to wrap this up. Verse 21, acquaint now thyself with him, and be at peace, whereby good shall come to thee. Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart. The law. They didn't have, some of you would say this book is invalid because what? They didn't have the law back then in Job's day. That was before Israel was even a nation. Come on here. How can you disseminate between the three books of Enoch, Jubilees, and Jasher? You don't know. To believe the Edomite, to believe those you call Edomites, to believe those who say this is that and thus is so and have printed it in a book. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. Take those things that God has more things for you than you understand. Best to say, I don't understand this, God. Why are these things? It doesn't matter about what other people have written and what they approve of. It matters what is righteous and what is right. Pray thee the law from his mouth. Ask God the law that came from his mouth. It's written in the book, the 5 books of Moses. It's even written in the book of Jasher, the book of Jubilees. It's written there. Yes, it is. Pray for that law, that I can let it be a part of me and me a part of it. That no one can know the difference. If you slap me, I'm going to slap you back. If you kill and take away what's mine, I'm going to do it back to you. This is the law of fairness. This is the law from the mouth of the Most High. Yes, it is. And if you covet what I have, you might have a hard time trying to get it. And if we obey those things that God tells us to do unto others, and how to conduct ourselves before the Most High, even the eternal, the I am that I am, we will have